Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're talking about Daredevil, the first volume, No Fear, from Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto. This run is, this is current Frank Miller. That's how good this run on Daredevil is.
Oh.
And Daredevil has had an undisputedly excellent period in the modern age. Post-Miller, you know, you got Bendis' Daredevil, which is really, really great. You got Brubaker's Daredevil. You got Charles Soule's Daredevil. A lot of really good runs, solid runs. Runs that are seminal and have incredible moments in his history. This is just like, I'm not trying to do anything but give you a Daredevil story.
Like status quo Daredevil.
Kind of, but he does, and through the story, he ends up disrupting the status quo, but not even in a, like, disruptive way. Not in a way where you're like, you've just changed Daredevil forever. He did that recently in a Daredevil annual, where it's like, you have irrevocably altered Daredevil forever. But there's been multiple volumes. This is going back a couple of years, so it's like, he eases you in, like an old man into a warm bath. Like, so that when you get acclimated to the heat, you don't realize that you're pumping in 110-degree water. This is my first introduction to Marco Checchetto, or Checchetto, I don't know. His art is really, really good. It's not even like I'm making allowances or I'm like trying to diminish it. It's solid, it's excellent. He does really great characters and action and set pieces. He can do quiet, he can do extreme, he can do it all. And it's not uniform or homogenized. It's just like dynamic poses, dynamic action, dynamic banter. He can do it.
I like his Daredevil vision.
Right.
It's not anything I haven't seen before or experienced.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting, like, topography.
Yes. Yeah, I like when they decide to actually show you his world, his view.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Zdarsky actually wrote and drew a chapter in this volume, which you can get in the description of this video, where he shows you like a very short Daredevil adventure and parallels like the Sight version for us and his version. And that's really cool. He's like saves a little girl from kidnapping. That's the story.
Right.
And we see it from his POV and ours, and it's like, that's really cool. And he does a really nice job, because Zdarsky himself is a graphic artist and an artist in his own right.
I thought everybody, Zdarsky himself is blind.
Yeah, he's blind to reality, which is that he's a fucker. No. Since Miller, someone went, okay, well, if you're going to take over Daredevil, you got to drag that son of a bitch through the asphalt. You got to give him rug burn.
Yep. Because what is Daredevil? He's a guy who gets screwed over.
He is suffering.
Yep.
In a spandex costume.
If he ain't suffering, he ain't Daredevil.
That's right. That's right. Everybody talks about how, like, Spider-Man, it's like, well, if he's not happy or if he doesn't lose at the end of the adventure, it's not Spider-Man. Shut up. Daredevil. He is a Catholic superhero who dresses like the devil. He is all about suffering and asking for it. So it is with this book. And so it is with every status quo. You know, like, Bendis' run was the one where they were like, his identity's out. Now what?
Right.
This is long after they've traded it up and changed things up. Mark Waid had a really nice run where it's like, what if Daredevil were happy? And it was like, it was really good, but let's get back to the
what if they
misery.
could see too? That's not the point.
They did that too, and it was a really neat idea called Superior Iron Man. Remember Axis, where everybody gets flipped?
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks. But they flipped Iron Man and made him like an asshole. And essentially in the comics that meant turning him into the movie version. And in that he apparently stole the architecture of the symbiote, like when he met Spider-Man in like the earlier days, and reverse engineered the composition and like system of a symbiote and infused it in with Extremis armor. And so he created like a new armor suit that like works like the symbiote and like his, you know, body horror suit. So it could be this like new suit. And he was like, "Oh, Daredevil, hey, I cured your blindness," and just jabs him with it. And he's like, "You're cured now." And Daredevil's like, "How dare you? Like, how dare you? You just violate me." And that's his response. He's like, "You're welcome." and so there's like a status quo for Daredevil where he didn't ask to be fixed, and now he's like, "This is screwing up everything." Colors! He's like, I was born with sight. I could see before.
I remember what they were like, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah. It was a neat idea, but every status quo for Daredevil is like, let's fuck him up. In one story, they made him mayor of New York. And then they
tore it all away.
Tore that away from him.
Yep.
Not just Hell's Kitchen.
No.
Well,
I mean,
Hell's Kitchen doesn't have a mayor.
He can't be. No.
I mean, here's the thing. If anyone could secede from New York, it would be Hell's Kitchen.
At that point, they were like, oh, J. Jonah Jameson's mayor? Anybody can be mayor. Screw it.
Right.
So
everyone's mayor
Mole Man.
for a
Mole
day.
Man is mayor.
Yeah, no. So after they got rid of his status as mayor, Kingpin becomes mayor, and that's where we are now. Kingpin's mayor.
Oh, jeez.
And Kingpin's like, there are a lot of costumed heroes in this city. They're all breaking the law. Like,
Right.
except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets a pass. And the reason he's doing that is because now no one will like Spider-Man because they'll think that he's on the take. And
my God.
everyone else will be dogged but Spider-Man. And Daredevil was savagely broken. Daredevil has just recovered, kind of, from breaking practically every bone in his body.
Oh.
So we are at a not quite 100% Daredevil. A Daredevil who almost thought, well, I'm never going to be Daredevil again. I might not even live. And now he's in this period. So that's where we are with Matt. Matt is like 85%, but he's on painkillers, and he may be using them a little too much. Matt's at this really, really shady bar where there's this totally hot babe at the bar. And she is talking to Matt because she could feel him coming up to her. And she throws him the business, but also is like, I mean, you're cute. I'll see where this is going. So they get their drinks, and he asks what time it is, and she goes, the clock's across from you, buddy, and then sees that he's blind, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, it's okay. I make it hard for people to notice.
Right.
He pulls out his pills, he pops a couple, and she's like, oh, what are those for? And he goes, I'm recovering from an accident. She goes, can I have one? And he's like, sorry, that would be illegal.
And then he slides her one anyway.
He slides her one later. So we get a lot of flashbacks in the story where we basically just see Matt's relationship with the priest that he was growing up with.
Who slid him one?
No! Matt broke into someone's house, a kid's house, and stole something, and his father is like, you need guidance, and I am a mook prize fighter, so I'm gonna leave you with this priest until you don't do that anymore. So he talks to the priest, and the priest is like, well, what'd you do? And he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, well, okay, then we can skip the confessions and just get into what happened. And so he tells him, like somebody stole something from another kid. He couldn't defend himself. I went back to his house, took it back. And he's like, basically, you are still subject to man's laws, but
you didn't do anything wrong in God's eye.
You didn't do anything wrong. The only thing you did wrong was you got caught. So then we cut to later. Of course, Matt has slept with this young lady, and he's up, and she's like, "Well, that was fun, but my roommate has to feed my cat, and I don't trust her, and I gotta get up in the morning, and I gotta wash my hair." And he's like, "Yeah, get out. It's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship here."
Yeah.
You can't even look at his apartment. Why would you leave?
Well, she does say like, "What are you, a lawyer or something?" He's like, "Yeah, kind of." I think I might still be a lawyer. I'm not really sure. Like, well, have I been disbarred or not? Like, I don't know.
Technically, have I been disbarred? I don't know. Maybe it's still winding through the system.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like status quos I have to remember happened. So, maybe it's fair enough just to have Matt. Matt would say maybe.
Yeah.
But basically, she reveals that she was happy to sleep with him because she knew, like, I would have maybe slept with you just on your charm, but when I found out you were blind, I was totally gonna bang you. And he's like,
that's hot.
No, because I have to worry about how attractive I am and how I come off to all these people, and with you, I didn't have to worry if I was pretty enough. And he's like, and yet you are gorgeous. She's like, and yet.
I'm not going to say no.
Oh, yeah, no. So we see Daredevil has beaten the living hell out of somebody. The cops are there, the ambulance is there, and the cops are talking, and the perp who was beaten is being loaded in the ambulance, and there's a rookie cop and a beat cop, and the beat cop is telling the rookie cop, like, well, like, what'd you get out of the statement from the person? She's like, said Daredevil beat the hell out of him. And he goes, okay, cool, so we didn't get an eyewitness. And she's like,
But that's not what I. He's like, didn't get. Oh, no.
So then Cole North, this new character, shows up. Fresh from the transfer of Chicago, he's here in New York, and he has a problem with Daredevil and Vigilantes.
He is a brick shithouse.
Yes, he is. And he is built to take down Daredevil. He is not on the take.
Right.
He is not working for Fisk. In fact, he has a real problem with Fisk. He knows Fisk is an organized crime boss who is now mayor of New York. He has a real problem with that. But right now, I am here to take down Daredevil. And so he's like, okay, so what happened? And then he asks the perp who's being loaded into the ambulance, who did this to you? Daredevil. Okay, I'm writing you up, but I'm going to put in the report that you were coerced by him. And this guy's like, and he just launches into North about how he's like, I'm gonna have your badge and take you down. He's like, sure. I've looked at your record already. I know who both of you are. I've run down the gamut for you. And I know you've never done anything, and you, who have been doing this for decades, have never done anything. But you take lots of really nice, expensive vacations.
Uh-oh.
And then he gets...
What is his job?
He's a detective.
He's almost like
a detective.
Internal affairs detective.
Yeah.
Seems like he has a lot of power.
Well, it's more like he carries that power in his body.
Right.
But at the same time, like,
does good
he's not on the
research.
take. He knows he's a good cop. Internal affairs can't touch him.
Yeah.
And he was brought in to take down Daredevil. He doesn't have to answer to anybody else.
Well, he brought himself in. He requested the transfer.
transferred,
He has a real problem with Daredevil.
He has a personal mission.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's not that Daredevil like fucked his mom or something. Like he is
I was
just
gonna ask, yeah.
No, he's just he finds it repugnant.
Right.
And he hates the cops who facilitate and enable people like Daredevil.
Right.
Did this guy get his baseball card stolen when he was a kid?
Yeah, right. And this stupid kid broke into the other kid's house and took them back for me. Nobody does anything for Cole North.
Oh, I assumed it was just like, no, I
He's the
won
guy.
those in a bet.
Yeah.
And then some kid stole them from me and
Right.
returned them to the other kid.
Yeah. And there were
I
no
was
eyewitnesses. No. There's no connection to Matt.
Okay.
How come he's not after Spider-Man? Doesn't Spider-Man have a chummy relationship with the...
It's a Daredevil book. Zdarsky isn't writing... Oh, he is writing Spider-Man at this point, but it's a different book, and that's very different.
Don't worry, I'm sure Cole North will show up in that book too.
Once he deals with Daredevil, he'll move on to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man just web in the face and run away.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, of course. You
it's
can't
like,
stop
well,
him.
I can't do anything about Spider-Man,
Yeah,
but I might be able to stop Daredevil.
I know Daredevil's just a guy. So this cop is all up in North's face about like, I'm gonna have your badge, I'll take you down. Like, don't talk to me like that. And North just turns to one of the paramedics and he goes, excuse me, son, are you able to radio into dispatch? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, we're gonna need another ambulance. North is explaining to the rookie cop what he sees about this crime scene. And he's like, no, this guy is not trying to right a wrong. He's not trying to save people or stop crime. He is beating on these people because he enjoys it. And that's my problem with Daredevil.
Right, he likes it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we see another flashback. Matt has been blinded. He's with the priest again. And basically the priest is like, you are angry with God, and that's your sin because God didn't take your sight from you. And you're like...
Toxic waste did, or whatever.
Right, yeah. Well,
I mean, God did take your sight from you, but God did it, so you have to be okay with it.
Well, it's like God didn't stop it.
That's... Well, and Matt, remember, he got blinded because he saved someone else from being hit by the truck, and for his troubles, he is blinded. So the lady is left, Matt's by himself, which is all he wanted, and basically he's like, I have to get out there. Like, I've got to get back into the saddle. Like, I've spent enough time recuperating.
Yeah, I got to beat some people up again.
Yeah.
He already did.
Right.
But that was just long ago.
That was earlier.
Right, and that guy was pretty weak. No,
Well,
I gotta go up against.
No, it's just I gotta be Daredevil again. Like I
gotta keep going.
Yeah, and he's in his apartment and he feels like he's in a box and he's like, I gotta get out of the box. So we get this beautiful splash of Daredevil, where just he's swinging around, and he's being awesome. And he tries
parkouring around.
Yeah, we're seeing parkour and swinging around, and
I like the idea that he had to have a girl with him at the apartment to have sex.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I just masturbate, I know where it all goes. I see it afterwards.
I think it's more just like Matt's like,
gross.
I can get laid.
Yep.
Like, if I want to jack off, I'll just go to a bar and pick up a lady because I'm that good.
Yep.
I can hear your
super
heartbeat.
hot
Like, he just goes in and goes like, who
super
wants
rich.
to bang me? And then reads all the heartbeats. You! Let's go! So Matt's swinging around. But the main reason why he's doing it isn't just because he needs to beat people up. He wants Hell's Kitchen to see that Daredevil is back and that he's active. And it'll maybe scare some people into not doing it.
Right.
He's doing the Batman thing.
Yeah.
And as he's swinging over, he slips and he almost takes a dive off the side of a building. And he's like, okay, I am not 100%.
No.
I'm not there yet. but I hear a robbery 3 blocks away, and so it looks like the devil has slipped their minds. And so he goes, and it's just a few people robbing a liquor store.
Yeah.
Okay.
So run-of-the-mill
Yep.
crime.
So Matt comes in and he's just he jumps off of one guy's shoulders. It's just a cool fight scene where Matt is just kicking the crap out of a few well-armed hoods who are robbing a liquor store.
Yeah.
One guy who is at the store, who is also part of the robbery, he goes in behind Matt to punch him, and Daredevil turns, he misses, he gets punched, and then he is hit from the other side. He's like, okay, I'm not 100%, and maybe the pills are making him sloppy, we don't know. But he hauls back to hit somebody, and he clocks the other guy behind him and knocks him. Dude hits his head against the wall and then falls down. So Matt is now losing the fight. This guy's down. Everyone else is like kind of piling on him. He feels that there are guns involved too, and he's like, I gotta go. Like I gotta take these guys out and leave immediately. But he's just getting his ass kicked. A fire breaks out in the liquor store, and he's like, I need to deal with the fire, but I gotta take these guys down. I'm probably not gonna make it out of here. Like I don't have time. I gotta let the police and the paramedics deal with this.
Yeah. This went bad.
This went bad, and this went south,
and
it shouldn't have. And Fisk has sent orders to arrest Daredevil and costumes on site. So I got to get out of here like now.
Yeah.
So he immediately leaves, and you can see the flames like just overtaking the building.
Yeah, it's a pretty serious fire.
And he's like, after all the years and all the injuries I've taken, like I wonder how much longer I can actually keep this up.
Right.
So it's a confidence shaken Daredevil.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just too old. Like this was just a run of the mill.
Yeah. This is just I should have done this in my sleep.
Yeah.
Don't forget also, of course, like he was very badly broken.
Right.
Like so he's
even 85%.
Yeah.
Like you're coming back from something that incapacitated
Yes,
you.
exactly. So, and you're managing constant pain.
Right.
So we see
by like abusing it.
Yeah. Another flash forward in the flashback where now he's been Daredevil for the first time, and he's basically confessing to the priest about it, and the priest is like, you dress like the devil in God's house, and you want permission to do it, like to beat people. That's not what I'm not going to give you that.
Right.
And he's like, and I can hear it in your voice that you're not doing this for God or for the greater good. Like you sound like an addict. Detective North is at the scene investigating everything.
Oh, I left a baton behind?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Fisk is watching the news reporting about the robbery and about Daredevil's involvement. We see Matt, of course, like at home. He's stripped down all of his Daredevil costume, and he's just exhausted and collapses in bed. The guy,
not the same sheets.
Yeah, they're all bloody now.
The guy he elbowed in the face, he hit his head, he died.
I had a feeling when I saw his face.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now Daredevil has killed someone.
Wow.
It's the greatest sin he could commit. Something that Daredevil's never done before.
Wow.
And it wasn't intentional.
It wasn't
either.
intentional, but
it was because
he was Daredevil.
Yeah, it's because he was off his game that he did that. It was an accident.
Well, he also jumped in and was reckless when he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
So now North has more of a reason than ever to go for Daredevil. Now all the cops are aware, and because they're all kind of protected him for a long time because Daredevil was just a superhero.
Yeah, he would beat people up, but there
but
was
he
no
wouldn't kill them.
permanent
nothing
damage.
they couldn't eventually walk away
and
from.
these people were just robbing an empty store, and now one of them's dead.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not a crime that
now
you would
he's
like get a sentence for.
They know about his
now
precision.
he's like judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, they know about how like effective he is as a fighter. Like he should have known better. Did he do it on purpose?
Right. Is he escalating?
Yeah.
Like is he going too far?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
is he becoming the Punisher essentially?
right.
Yeah.
We get an indication that like Cole has no social life, and he's just kind of like spending his time like on the heavy bag.
Yeah.
At the police precinct, and they're just like, "Who's the new guy? Is he single?" And the guy's like, "No, he's married to this." So Foggy is reading about the news.
He's
He's
married
trying
to Lady Liberty or Justice.
He's
Lady Justice.
He's not a sycophant. He's just kind of like driven.
Right.
But Foggy is.
And Justice is blind. Don't forget.
Oh-ho!
He's obsessed with.
Oh my
her
God, he's in
and
love with Daredevil.
So Foggy is just trying to reach Matt. He's trying to contact him.
What's Foggy up to?
He's running the firm. He's doing his fine thing. Daredevil shows up in his
He's
office.
looking like Han Solo.
Yeah, a little bit. He's got the vest. So Foggy's like, "What happened, man? What happened to this guy?" And Matt's like, I don't kill people. Fisk has to have set me up. Because he's the mayor. He like, what were they doing there? Why the fire? What's going on here? Like, you mean he's dead? Like, I'm too good at this for him to have died. I didn't do it, and so
you did.
Right.
You don't remember when he hit his head against the wall?
Right? Not really.
You don't remember that resounding thud?
So Matt goes to the hospital where they pronounced him dead, and so the doctor who pronounced the victim dead goes out for a smoke break. The nurse is like, well, you don't smoke. He's like, I'm vaping. I just call it smoking because vaping sounds stupid. And so he goes outside, and Matt is thinking about how it's like, Fisk has all kinds of people on the take. Like dirty cops, coroners, doctors. So he interrogates the doctor. He just like appears, and he's like, what'd you do? Like, Leo Carraro's a thief who died. Tell me what happened. And he grabs him, and the doctor's like, he suffered from an acute hematoma. He died. You killed him. And he listens to the heartbeat.
Right.
And he is not messing around. And when he lets him go, the doctor's like, wait a minute. You did this. That man is dead because of you. If you're here to blame me, you're looking in the wrong place. Because I know who you are and what you do and how effective you are at it. Like, you seemed like you knew the human body better than me, and I'm a doctor. So either you're getting sloppy or you did it on purpose. But there's no reason for you to do this. Like, with your skills, and Daredevil leaves it, you could have been a doctor. Like, the doctor is not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's not like dressing
Daredevil
down Matt and being like, you're a murderer,
No,
and you'll never find forgiveness.
I mean, he calls him a killer, but he's more like, you shouldn't have been. Like, this is on you.
Right.
Like, I know for a fact that you have not killed people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
break
I get your
bones,
victims all the
though.
time. I can tell. You're very precise.
Yes.
You know the whole cost of insurance? You're part of it.
Right. So North wants to meet with Kingpin, Fisk, Mayor Fisk.
Yeah.
So North and his partner are invited to the mansion. They go meet with Fisk, and Fisk is like, you're North, right? Cole North, is that your name? And he's like, it is, Mr. Mayor. We won't take up too much of your time. I just wanted to know, like, there was this homicide last night where we suspect Daredevil, and he was like, oh yes, I've heard. It's quite tragic. And basically, Cole's there to get an idea about what Fisk's involvement is with this, because he knows. He's like, as I understand, you've had a rather antagonistic relationship with the accused. Yeah. And he says, yes, but I do believe in law and order, don't you? You could have just called me, but you didn't because you wanted to come here and talk to me face to face, which I do appreciate. And I think it's really commendable that you moved all the way from Chicago. You left behind your friends, your poor Anna. But anyway, I have to go, so get out of my office. And Cole's like, once I arrest Daredevil, Fisk is next. Like, I'm going to take on the Kingpin. This guy has a lot to prove for like no good reason. Fisk's confidant Wesley is like, this business with Daredevil, like, are you involved? And he's like, no. If I were, I'd be bursting to tell you. But it appears that Daredevil has actually done himself in. And isn't that amazing? And Daredevil's outside listening. So now he knows that Fisk was not involved.
Right.
And he says, I listen for a telltale skip. It never comes. I mention it only because I want to show this beautiful panel that, like, is one of the few times I'm like, that is New York City. I know exactly what that looks like. Yeah. Just that image of Daredevil just set against something real. It's just so cool.
I love the concept that someone might be working in an office building and they just look out. And just, Daredevil's just on the corner of a building, like across the street. Yeah. Just sitting there, and you're like, I'm a little nervous.
Daredevil goes and meets with Sister Elizabeth. He says, all I've ever wanted to do is help people. And Elizabeth goes, well, then do it. Go, help people. So he puts on his Daredevil costume and goes back out there and just kicks the crap out of bad guys. And as
he's like, that's not what I'm helping.
But as he's doing it, he's like, I'm careful. I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing. Like, I would never kill anybody. Like, that's this.
Except that time that you did.
Right, except that time. But I'm like, he's trying to, like, work through it. It could be that there's, like, the 5 stages are in here. But, like, he's really, I don't know, he's in a weird place.
Yeah.
But when he's done beating up the bad guys that were, like, threatening this couple, the woman looks at him with fear.
Yeah.
And so...
You're still dressed like the Devil Man. Maybe you could be the Archangel.
No. book's called Daredevil. I'm not here to not read Daredevil.
Puts on a robe, has little wings.
Daredevil will become a different character a little later in the story.
What?
So hang on to that.
Okay.
But Matt, at this point, finally realizes I am responsible. I killed Leo Carraro. I didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
But it was my negligence. It was my screw up. And now that deed is with me, and it sends a message to everyone. And like, what will that do for me? Like, will it make my friends not trust me? Will it make my enemies more afraid of me? Or will they rally together because they think that I'm crossing a line now? So Daredevil returns to the scene of the crime to see like why the fire started, what happened, and while he's there, Detective North is there, and they...
Like in the middle of the night?
No, it's like during the day.
Oh, it's daytime, okay.
And so North's partner pulls a gun, Daredevil throws the baton, stops him, North just charges him, and the two of them get into a small grapple, Daredevil knocks him down, and North just shoots him.
What?
Yeah, he tries to leave, Daredevil, and North just pulls his gun faster, and he shoots him.
Oh, right through the shoulder.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he calls it in. Fisk is at a benefit dinner when he is told by his confidant what has happened. The police have captured Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like not that they're holding him, but like we're in that scene. Like Daredevil's been shot, police are on their way. And he's like, I've got to go.
Wrap up the buffet for me.
So Wesley's like, do you really want to be there in person? It might not look as... I have been the architect of that man's misery for so long that I am not going to miss an opportunity to just watch this movie play out and be surprised by how it goes.
But first you're going to have to fit through that door, and
well,
I don't know.
He's going to have to turn.
He is enormous.
North tries to slap the cuffs on Daredevil, and Daredevil's response is amazing, like in his head, where he's like, yeah, you got me face down. I might as well be facing you. When he leans in to get him, Matt flips around, gets him off of him. He tries to make his way out. North and his partner chase after them. They run into some kids in an alley, and they're like, Daredevil, did you see him? And he goes, nah, man, I didn't. You mean the guy who saved my cousin? I wouldn't tell you if I did know. Fuck off. He's like, and the guy,
damn it.
North is like, I hate these New York cops. I hate
what for like
earlier
failing
to demonize Daredevil.
Yeah.
I hate the New York cops for doing this. I hate the city. These people are crazy. So,
all right. So what happened to him? Like who
pissed him
over?
off?
Who was a hero?
So Matt, he steals some clothes from a thrift store, covers himself, but like he didn't have a chance to switch out, so he's just wearing his Daredevil costume underneath. North sees a dude wearing Daredevil boots, and no mask though.
Yeah.
But I like Cole North vision. North calls in the ID for what Daredevil looks like.
Yeah.
And Matt hears that through the dispatch radio, and he's like, shit. Puts the mask on, runs off. They're stopped by cops. Mayor Fisk is there, just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Daredevil's like, I am out of options.
Right, I'm completely surrounded.
So he just calls out to one of the cops, and he says, Officer Belsky, how's your partner? He's like, alive thanks to you. And he goes, and Sergeant Thompson, how's the Williams family? They're good. They told me that if I ever saw you again to thank you. And North's just unbelievable. And so he screams at all the cops. He's like, you're all crazy. You know what? Screw this. So while he's yelling at the cops, he hears the clatter of the gun that Daredevil recovered from his partner dropping. He drops it, and then he just puts up his dukes. And North goes, okay, takes off his jacket, and then they just are encircled by cops, and they're going to have a little old-fashioned street fight.
Oh, my God.
All right, this is a little ridiculous.
North is driven, like you read about.
Yeah, and the cops are like, I want to see where this goes.
Let's see our boy kick the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, this freaking guy who tells us how stupid and crappy we are.
Yeah. Maybe
has made no effort to make friends.
Right?
Hey, Chicago sucks!
Your pizza ain't pizza.
It's a giant lasagna with crust. Deep dish is amazing.
I do like deep dish, but I'm not always interested in one whole meal every time I want a slice. It's a really cool fight.
Yeah.
But North is
if
bigger.
Fisk does not have popcorn, this is a wasted moment.
Yeah.
North is bigger, stronger,
and hasn't been shot.
And hasn't been shot or like broken
Right.
recently. So he just grabs Matt, slams him into the hood of a police car, and then just wails on him, flips him over, and then just says, "Do me a favor and stay down." Cuffs him. He reads him his rights, and as he's pulling the mask off, the ranking cop on the scene comes in and he goes, "Hey, I don't know who you are or who you think you are, but we're in New York, and we don't perp walk cops or people that we protect. So you will not take his mask off. He's down. He's arrested. We're going to put him away.
Yeah.
He can take the mask off when he's at the precinct." And he's like, "I don't even understand you people." New York boys should have their heads checked. So they put him in the car.
Yeah.
And he's in the back, and Fisk is like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll leave. That was fun." And so Matt's thinking to himself, like, Matt Murdock is over. Daredevil's over. It's all over. There's nothing I can do about this.
Yeah.
And then a sniper's bullet takes out the headlights of that car, and then all of the police cars start exploding from bullets.
Oh my God.
North identifies that the gun is being shot remotely from across a rooftop, and immediately goes to the precinct car where Matt was held, and Matt has been dragged out of the car. He's still like bloody and broken, and he's like, "Stop." And from behind North, this assailant pulls his head in and chokeholds him and knocks him out.
Wow.
And then takes Daredevil away from him.
Right.
So then Daredevil wakes up shirtless and bandaged in the Punisher's stronghold.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was going to be the Punisher.
Yay!
Yeah.
I was so worried that it was going to be like that old priest.
"I've got you, Matt! What? God is with
That
you!"
would be insane.
Yeah.
Of course it's the Punisher. So did Punisher pull him out of the car and leave him on the sidewalk as like bait so that the cop would come over and then he could grab him?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because he saw North take him down. He's just like,
Yep.
not fucking with this guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta get the drop on him.
Yeah. But he says, "Congratulations, Red, you'll live. But better than that, you've seen the light." So North is being treated for superficial wounds when the police commissioner shows up, and she goes, "Hi, yeah, so I have this video here on my phone of my newest police detective getting into a street fight with a mentally handicapped person."
Not mentally handy.
I mean, he's a vigilante,
No,
so...
he's insane.
Oh, well,
There's a
he
man in
is
a Daredevil
insane.
costume being beaten by one of our uniformed police officers.
Right.
Are you for real?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You don't know it's Daredevil.
No.
And he was easily beaten by a police officer, so people might not even believe it was Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's a stretch, though.
Well,
No, I love that reaction because it's like,
Yeah.
no, it looks really stupid.
Yeah,
you look like an idiot.
you can't do that.
You're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I gotta
no.
dehumanize these people. Like, I gotta break their spirits." Like,
Yeah. No,
what? You're not Batman.
he should be fired on the spot.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
It's
going to be
above and beyond, like...
newspapers all over the
I
country.
know.
Like,
Yeah. No. And you know it was a cop that filmed that.
yeah.
It was like, "Oh, you're a golden boy here."
Yep.
So Matt wakes up and he's in Punisher's like hideout.
I like the
And-
different skull options that Punisher has
That's
once in a
right.
while.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. You could tell a classic Punisher, Sorrentino Punisher, yeah. Frank saved Matt because he thinks that Daredevil has decided to start killing now.
Oh, that's what he meant by seeing the light?
Yeah.
God damn it.
He's like, "You finally figured it out, man. All right. I always told
now
you
we're
you'd
on the
be-"
same team.
He's like, "You'd be better than me if you would just figure it out."
This is going to
Right.
be amazing.
Yeah, we're going to work together. It's going to be great.
We're going to kill so many people.
Just
Oh,
listen.
I'm so proud. I'm going to get you a trophy or your
Yeah.
first.
It's going to be great. Frank has a low-level thug tied up in the base with them.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Hang on a second. I gotta deal with this guy." So I know that the Owl is dealing with, like, there's some kind of drug running going on in a warehouse nearby. Where is it? The punk says where it is. It's in old McGilly's warehouse. He goes, "No, they're not. They're not there." And he like wounds him and hurts him. Matt's like, "Please leave him alone. Stop it." And he's like, "Oh, come on. This guy, he's done worse than the guy that you killed."
Yeah. You don't have to pretend
Yeah,
for this guy.
stop. He's not even gonna remember because he's gonna be freaking dead.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to tell anyone.
Yeah, like what this is, you,
Stop with the
I'm-
pretense.
Who's this
Yeah.
show for?
Right.
You,
Yeah.
me? Because it ain't for him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no point.
So Daredevil kind of like throws his morality at him where he's kind of just like, he is a person, so he's capable of good and evil, Like, lives can be changed. He goes, oh, what are you trying to tell me? This guy's going to be Mother Teresa. He's going to cure cancer. Look at him. And let me tell you who he was and what he's done. He's never going to change. He's never going to be better. And he's not worth this. And he's got his gun up against his head. And he's just like, he has people who love him. Everyone has someone that loves him. Please let him go. And Frank's like, all right, Red. So he takes the gun away. He cuts his bindings, and he goes, okay, I don't know where he's going to go, because he's locked up here pretty good, but good luck. But instead of leaving, the guy pulls a machine gun from Frank's armory and tries to shoot them, and Frank headshots him.
Yeah.
And he goes, is that better for you, Red? Is that better? I killed him in self-defense now.
Right.
Is that how?
What difference does it make?
Yeah.
He's still dead.
Does that sound familiar? And Matt breaks free from like his bindings, because like Frank tied him to the gurney.
Yeah.
Frank's like, oh, okay. So it was an accident. Like, you didn't mean to do it. Damn it. I thought you changed. I thought you figured it out. Your stupid fucking lines. You know? So Frank's got his like assault weapon.
Yeah.
And Matt's like tucked behind like a filing cabinet. And the whole place is covered in weapons.
Yeah.
And Matt just pulls 2 pistols out and immediately shoots Frank in the body armor and then disarms him. And he goes, Frank, do you have any idea what I would be if I crossed the line? What I could do with your arsenal? What I could become? Yeah, you're a demon, sure, but I'm the devil. And he shoots 2 different canisters of dynamite and blows up like half the warehouse. If I used my radar sense with guns and I just wanted to kill people, I would be 1,000 times more effective than you.
I'd be better than Bullseye.
He says, no contest, you're amateur hour. So, of course, the explosions wreak havoc with his radar sense. So Frank tries to gain the upper hand, but Matt's a better fighter and just beats the crap out of Punisher. And he says, you're lucky I'm not a murderer, because if I were, you'd be dead already. And so he knocks out Frank. He's shirtless. He just grabs a shirt off the rack, throws it on, and then frees himself, grabs Frank, gets him out of there, pops a couple of pills because the pain is unimaginable.
Yeah.
North gets a call from Wilson Fisk while he's at home. And Fisk is like, Detective North, I just wanted you to know, I think you did an amazing job today. And
put on quite a show. It was great.
Yeah. And this business with the police department, I wouldn't worry about it. In fact, I would expect a commendation and a pay, and then he hangs up on him. So now we know why North is still working there.
Yeah.
So Daredevil drops Frank on a police car outside a donut shop.
If I were that cop, I would just like cut him free and leave.
Sorry, Frank. But
look,
now,
we love Daredevil, but I'm terrified of you.
But now we've got this image of Daredevil in a Punisher shirt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As if to say to the world, like,
this is me. It's
me
just
now.
Getting worse.
It's just getting worse. You're just digging your own grave.
No, don't look. No, he captured me, and I didn't have any shirt.
I didn't want to walk around shirtless. That's just gaudy.
Yeah. Well, and Matt is funny because like he beat Punisher, and he's like, but the owl is selling drugs. I'm gonna check that warehouse. And the guy said, because I could hear his heartbeat, and he was telling the truth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's still a bad guy.
Right.
Frank was probably just going to kill him and then check it out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was going to say you're lying.
Right.
Then he's like, I'll just...
Well, anyway, I'll just go there.
Yeah.
But so Matt is like, he's gone through hell, and now he's going to go take on the owl and his goons at the warehouse.
Who's the owl?
The owl is a...
Should I know who that is?
We've talked about the owl before. He was in End of Days, which was like the last Daredevil story by Bendis.
He looks like a banshee.
Yeah.
Or an owl.
Or an owl. Or a werewolf. Owl is a crime boss who is owl-themed, who also murders people, and he's super creepy. And sometimes he has powers like he can fly and stuff.
And turn his head 360 degrees.
I've never seen that. That would be a hell of a parlor trick. So,
you know why they call him the owl? Spin around.
No! So, it's great because Owl is in his office at the warehouse where they're running these drugs. And Owl has upgraded the apparatus, so to speak, where he has an Iron Man level enforcer. Like a dude in a stolen
like a suit.
tech suit. It's not straight up armor. That's Iron Man, but
Could be Hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
if they are not using hammer tech
that'd be great.
all the time in like
Right?
the cheap villains, that's just such a waste.
Matt mentions that it's like it's almost as strong as Iron Man. So.
Okay.
But it's great because Owl takes a gander at the surveillance cameras and he sees Daredevil's silhouette. He goes, "Oh shit! Pack it up! We gotta go!" So I need a new nest. So Daredevil swoops in and he's just kicking the crap out of people, and it's like just such a cool image of like Punisher Daredevil.
And they're seeing he's got the Punisher.
They're like,
mask.
oh,
we're all dead! I thought I was going to jail. Now I'm gonna fucking die.
Yes. So Matt takes on the Iron Man
If he
ripoff.
wore that shirt around the rest of the time, I imagine like half of the crime in New York would stop.
Yeah, I was way better than you. I didn't have to fire a single bullet, Frank. Nice job. But they sick the mech guy on Daredevil. Daredevil fights him, and like basically he's like, I don't have enough strength to beat this guy, but that truck does. And he ties a chain around it right before the truck is making its getaway. And so like they drag the dude, he hops on the guy, rides the guy, shoots the tire out from the truck. So the truck like spins out of control, dumps the drugs.
Nice.
Matt goes over to the truck, pulls the door off, and uses it like a shield from all the other guns.
Yep.
I'm Daredevil, I'm Captain America, I'm Punisher, I'm everybody. All I gotta do is be funny and I'm Spider-Man.
He is besieged by dudes.
Right. They're just like...
They got knives and guns, and it's just, it's rough. And he's like...
And he's still friggin' recovering from a gunshot wound.
Yeah, and he's on painkillers.
And
and I love it because he's, right before he thinks he's gonna die, he says, I do this to help people. And then Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones show up. And he's like, oh, my friends...
He keeps getting bailed out.
Yeah, he's like, my friends came to save me. Wait a minute. They're not here to save me. They're here to stop me.
Oh.
And then he passes out. And when he wakes up, he's at Luke's apartment. Or Danny's apartment. It's probably Danny's because it's way nicer. And Danny's like, I hooked you up with a bunch of, bunch of treatment. So you should be getting better.
Right. I gave you nanites or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's Iron Fist. You don't have nanites. It's just like, no, I
I
gave
use
you...
my
does he use his
I run my hands all over you and I cured you of your addiction.
Yeah, he says, I patched you up with some very expensive Kunlun medical bandages. So please don't unpatch yourself just yet.
It's like back to heals you.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
Magic healing stuff.
They're made from the skin of a dragon.
Oh.
No. Well, maybe. They look like bandages.
Probably.
So they're just waiting for Matt to explain himself.
Made from the Eastern bandage dragon.
Ah.
Yeah. It's
Just
a mummy
trails
dragon.
bandages, you just clip them off. And...
So Matt is like has a minute to like talk and decompress, and he's just like, I killed a man. Like I was careless, and these guys came at me, and I screwed up, and I'm just glad.
And now I'm apparently trying to get myself killed.
Right.
Because I keep doing insane shit.
Yeah. And he's just like, and I know you guys came here to take me down and to bring me in, but can you please, before you take me to the police, like, let me explain myself. Like, so I can answer for my crime. And Luke and Jessica and Danny are like, we're not taking you in. Like, we're here to save you. You're our friend, man. These things happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, you're all murderers. And you are okay with what you've done. And so you're okay with what I've done. Like, you're going to enable me.
You approve of it because it also...
applies to you. Like, you don't want
it
me to...
absolves you.
Yeah, you don't want me to judge you. Because you don't want to judge yourselves what you've done.
Have
See,
they
Matt,
all
this is
killed
why we don't
someone
hang
before?
out.
6 and 1. It depends on who's writing it and what continuity we're talking about. But,
okay.
like, you could argue that, like, they have all killed somebody.
Okay.
But they're
It's
like...
miraculous to me that Matt hasn't at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like if you
was
punch enough
Catholic.
people really hard in the head,
Yeah,
eventually one of them's going to die.
Right? And I love it because they say, well, you're the one running around in a Punisher shirt, man. He's like, I don't know what it looks like. I just grabbed a shirt. Like, he didn't know he was sending a message.
Right.
Which I like that reminder.
You grabbed a shirt from the Punisher,
Yeah,
though.
but it was in the Punisher.
It's a t-shirt, right?
Tell me it's a coincidence.
Actually, he pulls it off of Frank's body. Because when he drops Frank off with the cops, he's wearing body armor, but not the shirt. It could be that Daredevil's never known what Punisher's whole aesthetic is.
How could he not know? That's
No one says, like, what the fuck's up with the skull? Are you a pirate or something?
I'm
Like,
sure people have mentioned the Punisher logo in the past when
maybe
he
it's
was
an
within
armband or something.
earshot. Because, by the way, his earshot is like a mile, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
There's no way the world doesn't know about and discuss the Punisher logo in the Marvel Universe.
No, it's true.
And at some point be like, Punisher logo, what's that? Oh, you know, whenever you see him, he's wearing the shirt with the skull on it.
Oh.
A skull.
That feels a little obvious.
Ooh.
You're dressed like the devil.
Hey, this isn't about me.
So Matt asks to go to the bathroom and then just jumps out the window and leaves.
Yeah, fucking, of course.
And we get
What
another
a jerk.
Yeah, we get another flashback to like his priest who's like very old, and he reveals like, I've chosen to do this. Like, I'm Daredevil now. And he's like, this is not the way.
Remember last time you visited me in the black?
Yeah.
And I said no.
Yeah, like
it wasn't because it was black.
Right. And now you've desecrated my house dressing like the devil. Like, please get out of here. And so Matt goes home and he just takes off his shit. He pours himself a drink and some pills.
Does he keep the shirt?
I think he discards the shirt. But he's in the apartment and he goes, ooh, someone's in here. But no one can sneak up on me. It must be the hand or something. Oh, I feel the heartbeat. It's a strong one. And it's Spider-Man.
Yay.
And this is where Spider-Man fans are like, yay! Because the way that Zdarsky describes Matt's interpretation of Spider-Man is something that no writer normally does, where it's like, he has the proportionate strength, speed, agility of a spider with ESP. Like, he can sense danger magically. He should be unstoppable. If he wanted to kill anyone, he could. If he wanted to go anywhere, he could go there. If he wanted to sneak up on anyone, he could.
Yeah.
Like, he should be unstoppable. And he can pick up a tank.
Yep.
All of that combined, he should be the most unstoppable character. And yet, he chooses to like make jokes and stop purse snatchers, and he upholds his own personal morality. Like, he believes in right and wrong, and he upholds that. And he's just like, Matt describes him, he's the best of us.
Of the street level characters,
no, like,
of which I am a member,
of which I am a member, he is the best. No, he's like, he is the best of us. Like, he when he fucks up, he feels it, and he like atones for it. He is constantly atoning. He is so my speed.
And then Spider-Man's like, I know what you're thinking, and coming from a murderer, you disgust me.
No! Spider-Man does have a conversation about murder, but basically he just says, but the way he describes it, I can almost hear his muscles tighten. Coiled with incredible strength and power, he is pure power, and he doesn't even know it. And he's here in my house.
Yeah.
Now, Daredevil's done some shit to make it so that nobody knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, so Spider-Man doesn't know he's Daredevil.
What is it, like magic?
Blah. Yes, but like, blah. Spider-Man did the same thing.
Yep.
And he wanted to tell Matt who he was. Matt's like, no, don't tell me, because if I could magically put my genie back in the bottle, I would. And then he does.
And then he does.
So now
that gives me an idea.
So now neither of them know each other, which is kind of like sad, because I like this scene, but I'm also really sad we don't get this like true camaraderie.
Yeah.
And I think Zdarsky is too, because Zdarsky's also like, I know, I gotta be I gotta do the continuity thing.
Yep.
But I will at least have them address that they're colleagues. You know, they're
the
colleagues.
same way that you know
you recognize when like a peer is.
Well, that Jessica and Luke and Danny showed up because like they know who.
Yeah,
Daredevil
they know who he is. Yeah.
Like Spider-Man also shows up. He knows who he is.
But he doesn't
I don't
know
have
his
to
Matt.
say that.
Yeah, but he's talked to him before.
He doesn't know his, because he doesn't know where he lives. He followed him home.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but he knows his morale. He knows who he should be.
Yeah.
And he just says, "Listen, I didn't go through your mail. I didn't find out who you are, but you killed a man. I have done that by accident, and it took me a long time to figure it out, and I needed to take time to do it. I didn't be Spider-Man.
Yeah, I didn't just go back out there half-cocked.
He's like, but you're on like a mission to die.
What are you talking about? There was a Spider-Man for a while. He looked and sounded exactly like you.
No, that
was a clone.
That was my clone.
Oh, I should get a clone. No.
No.
Well, never do that.
Why are we talking?
Ironically, Matt did the same thing one time when he faked his own death and then pretended to be his own twin brother.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he was still him.
Not anymore. Spider-Man's just like, you are on a suicide mission, and I am here to tell you it's time for you to stop.
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
He goes, listen, like, I would hope that someday when I reach the end of my rope, someone would come to me with a hand on my shoulder to tell me I'm done. And today, that's your day. You can't be Daredevil anymore. And if you continue this, I will stop you. And Matt's like, you're right. Like, I can't be Daredevil anymore. And so he throws Spider-Man his mask, and he gives up. And Spider-Man leaves, and he's just left in his apartment, kind of like decompressing from the day's events.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The rest of the arc will be about Matt trying not to be Daredevil, and now Hell's Kitchen is like, there has to be a Daredevil! And like imposters show up, and essentially Matt is just like, oh my god, they'll never let me stop being Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well, and no one else cares enough to be Daredevil. Like,
right, except for losers who can't hack it.
Right. Well, or will get themselves killed, being
will
me.
Die. Yeah.
And there's an inverse of this scene when Matt decides to be Daredevil again. And he's just like, shut the fuck up, you sycophantic spider character. You know what my shit is. Get out of my house or I'll kick the crap out of you. And it's like, it describes a similar sequence where he's like, I could feel him like getting ready. And then Spider-Man just goes like, you watch it. And then just leaves.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Did he leave the mask behind?
No. Well, like, he puts on his own mask. Like, Daredevil gets a new costume at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Which is very similar to the one he's wearing now. But it's like, it's a
yeah.
cool new design. And basically, Matt lawyers his way into figuring out how to keep being Daredevil, but atone and answer for his crimes.
Right.
I really like Cole North. He is a true son of a bitch in the beginning. You learn more about him, of course, because he's a new character. And,
right.
You know, Zdarsky's hoping that when Disney reboots Daredevil, maybe Cole will be a character and he'll get some cash. But like, as is the case, and I don't begrudge him that, because every creator today always creates new characters to put into their work so that when multimedia adapts it, they will get residuals for that character.
Yep.
Like, why would I ever bend over backwards to try and incorporate characters from his long-standing history when I could just pay myself?
Well, and the thing is, it works. And if they do such a good job creating a new character that someone actually wants to put him in a movie, it's like, all right.
Why not? And then it was a good
move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Plus, I like the idea of some hardened cop that really has a problem with superheroes.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that they get Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist in here. They don't, unfortunately, they have such a minor role.
Yeah.
Do they come back later in the arc?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they save him, but Matt doesn't want to be saved by them.
No. Well, he doesn't want to be saved for that reason. Like, he wants that, like, he's like, oh, they're here to save me from death and then bring me in because that's the right thing to do. And they're like, no. You'll just have killed someone.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's going to happen.
You have to live with that.
Yeah, exactly.
The way Spider-Man says it is great. And the way they say it, he's like, but you're all assholes.
Yeah, you're all murderers.
Right.
That's why you're okay with it.
Yeah.
I can't believe I called you friends. Hey, fuck you.
Wow.
At least I feel bad about it.
Spider-Man's like, hey, you're a murderer.
I feel bad about
it. You're going to have to deal with that.
Hey, you're a murderer. You know how I know?
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Because I'm a murderer.
Thank you, Spider-Man. You're the best of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
You want to hang out and be friends? No, you're a murderer.
No, I don't hang out with a murderer.
Oh, that stung.
I deserve that.
Oh, did I do that to my friends? Oh, that's okay. They're not my friends because they're murderers.
Yeah.
It's like a weird way to do that.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really weird.
Well, it's like
it's so condemning.
He's just like, you're all murderers. Like, are you literally figuring that out for the first time?
That's it. Yeah.
Or
he's finally
you knew it, but you didn't have a problem with it before, but now you have a real problem with it because
that's you now.
Because it seems like they're taking it not so seriously.
Yes.
Whereas for you, it's super serious. But for you, it just happened.
Right.
And they've had time to like come to terms with it. So of course they're not freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Like. He's very unsympathetic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
in this book.
No.
Yeah, but what about, like, going to the church and being like, I've killed someone, forgive me. They forgive you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he angry at the church?
Well, he's not.
He hasn't done that all the time.
He has not done that.
He hasn't done that, and also he is Catholic, and so they're an authority. These are godless heathens. These are peers.
Yeah, who forgave them? Who gave them the right to feel like they're okay?
Jessica Jones says it's okay for me to kill people? Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm sure
you
you talked to the priest and got your sins washed clean.
Right, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, you definitely did not.
In fact, I think you'd find it repugnant.
Yep.
Which is why I don't like you anymore. By the way, thanks for letting me crash on your couch. Like, yeah.
Thanks for saving my life.
So
I didn't ask you to save my life.
Okay.
Which is the other like subtext of the book.
Of course.
Which Spider-Man calls out, which is like
you
clearly
wanna die.
has a death wish
Yeah.
in this book. Mm-hmm. He keeps doing stuff that will get him killed, and he's just like, this is it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make it out of this one.
Yeah, no.
And then like
Spider-Man
things keep
also picks
jumping
up
in and like saving him.
He picks up the glass.
Oh yeah, he's like, look at you. like you're drinking, you're pill popping, you're wearing Punisher's costume, like you are coming unhinged, pal.
Yeah. You're seeking death by being Daredevil.
Yes, it's death by cop.
Yeah, but death by doing the job too hard when you don't have the ability to right now.
Death by Daredevil.
Oh.
That's the name of the hardcover. You're welcome.
Damn.
But pick it up. It's really, really great, and it's still going. I think the arc is... Yes, this story is concluded. It just ended about a month ago.
Oh, okay.
And what an ending. It's really cool. And it's distinctly Daredevil. That's the thing. Like, we got this really cool 2-page thing with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man doesn't show back up until the fight is over. Like, until everything's over, and it is all about Daredevil, dealing with it.
Right.
And I like that.
In his own Daredevil way.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll see you guys next week with an old episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So long.